Hi everyone, how are you my dear children? Hope you all are safe and fine. Today we are going to discuss dispersion of light by a glass prism. In last class we have discussed the refraction. Hope you have understood that lecture. So we are going to discuss dispersion by prism. And obviously we are taking glass prism only. So how to do? What is dispersion, by the way? You have studied in class 8, I think. So dispersion is nothing but this is a phenomenon, a splitting of white light into its constituent colors on passing through a glass prism. That is your disperse of white light. So we'll take a prism like this and a white light. White light means you can take sunlight also. Okay. So sunlight, white light means sunlight. So that means sunlight is passed through a pinhole. This hole has to be very minute hole to reduce it to a narrow beam. Okay. And this beam is now falling on this side of the refracting side of the triangular glass prism. So when this light will incident on the glass prism, then you will observe this is the dispersion of colors you will see. Okay? You will observe the dispersion of distinct colors. So, how will you observe this? Keep a screen over here. You can say white screen and you can see the band of colors over here. Here it will be red and the lowermost will be violet. Okay? So, color sequence will be of Vibgyor. This thing you know. V is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Okay? V stands for violet. As you can see, if the ray is not getting refracted, dispersed, so this is your undeviated ray. Okay? This is your undeviated ray. So you can see, let me draw nicely. So you can see all these are like this. Okay? Do like this. Now see, this is your undeviated ray. Now see the deviation by your red light, red color and the violet color. Where bending is more, where deviation is more. As you can see, red color will bend least and the violet color will bend most. This thing we are going to discuss now. Why this is happening. Okay? Is it clear what is dispersion by prism? Now, we will discuss the factors on which this deviation depends. Okay? We will discuss now factors on which deviation depends. Okay? First let us discuss this deviation delta will depend on refractive index. That means nature of the material of the prism. Nature of the material. That means it depends on your refractive index. It depends on refractive index. That is your mu. How it is? See, what is this refractive index? Which information it is giving? Refractive index means actually it is telling us how much light ray is bending. So more denser the medium is. More denser is the medium, then more is the bending. This thing we have already discussed in our previous lectures. So more denser means more bending. That means more bending means more deviation, because this is your undeviated. If it is bending more, then deviation will be more. So that means if refractive index increases, your deviation also increases. Okay. Now second point. It depends on your angle of prism. It depends on angle of prism. When angle of prism increases, your deviation is also increases. Clear? Now let us see on other which factors this deviation depends. It depends on wavelength of light. Wavelength of light. Wavelength of light. See, you know V is equal to F lambda. This thing also we have discussed. V is equal to F lambda. What is this V? V is the velocity of light. Velocity of light. Lambda is the wavelength of light. And F is frequency of light. So this frequency of light will be same in a medium. Is it going to change? Your frequency is going to change? No. So F will be same. That means V is proportional to lambda. That means your velocity of light in a medium, it depends on the wavelength of light. And another relation, you know mu is equal to C by lambda. Okay. And C is the velocity of light in vacuum. That is a constant. So C is constant. That means C by V, sorry. It is C by V. So this is your refractive index. Formula is C by V. This is the velocity of light in vacuum. This is the velocity of light in a medium. And this is your constant. 3 into 10 to the 8 meter per second. That means your mu is inversely related to your V. Mu is inversely related to V. Is it clear, children? Okay. Now we'll see how it depends. See video. If you go like this, your lambda increases. That means wavelength of red light is more. Lambda R is maximum and lambda V is minimum. That means lambda V is less than your lambda R. Okay. Lambda, these two relation now we'll consider. Lambda of violet, wavelength of violet is less than your wavelength of red color. So that means what will happen to the refractive index? So refractive index of violet will be more than your red. Is it clear? Why? Because if lambda violet is less than your lambda red, so that means your velocity of violet light is less than your velocity of red light, as you can see. Okay. V is directly proportional to lambda. So velocity of violet light is less. That means mu will be more. This is inversely related. Please verify these formulas. So that means refractive index of violet light is more than your refractive index of red light. And what we have discussed just now, if refractive index is more, then deviation will be more. That means deviation of violet light will be greater than deviation of red light. Is it clear? Please note it down. Please note it down. Let me write this as a conclusion. So that means violet light bends most and it has got least wavelength. Violet light bends most, more deviation, but it has got least wavelength. Okay, least wavelength. So your deviation will increases for violet light. That means if lambda decreases, your deviation increases. Is it clear, children, this point? Least wavelength of light means bending will be more. That's why you can see the violet light on the lower of that spectrum, and red light, that deviation is less, since red light is having maximum wavelength. Is it clear, children? Okay. Now we'll move to the next point on which your deviation depends. That is your fourth one. It depends on temperature also. If temperature increases, what will happen? If temperature increases, then molecules will move further. That means your density will decrease. That means it is getting rarer, your medium is getting rarer. That means your refractive index also decreases. If refractive index decreases, that means your deviation is also decreases. Is it clear? Now the last one. It depends on your angle of incidence. It depends on angle of incidence. How it is? It is a very critical one. Initially, if you increase the angle of incidence, your deviation will decrease. On further increase of the angle of incidence, on further increase of angle of incidence, you will see your deviation is also increases. Interesting. Let us see it graphically. This is your graph, children. Okay. This is your deviation and this is your angle. You will see this is your 0, 0 codes. Okay, origin. As you increase the angle of incidence, so first you are increasing, your deviation is here. Now when you increase the angle, you will see the deviation is decreasing, and at one point you will see now you are increasing the angle of incidence. As you can see, your deviation is decreasing, and after certain point, when you increase the angle of incidence, you can see your deviation is also increases. And this point, this is your delta minimum. This is the minimum deviation. This is the minimum deviation, and mark it, note it, children. This delta minimum deviation is only for one particular angle of incidence. There is no range. There is no range. It is very sharp. Okay, as you can see, it is very sharp. For only one angle, you will get your angle of this minimum deviation. Okay, is it clear? Now we'll discuss what are the causes for this minimum deviation of the light rays. Okay, condition for minimum deviation. Before discussing that, let us now discuss what is the principle of reversibility. Principle of, I think I have already discussed this thing in previous videos. You can go back to the initial videos. I have already discussed reversibility. What is this? See, this is your prism and this is your incident light. This, if no medium, then this is your undeviated. Now rarer to denser, so it is, this is your normal, so it is away from the normal. Now again denser to rarer, so this is your now normal, so it will be bent. Now see, it is bent towards the normal, it will be bending away from the normal. So this is your normal diagram, what we are doing from previous lecture. And this is your angle of incidence. Okay, this is your refraction R1, R2. This thing already we have discussed. Okay, let this angle is I2. Now, what is this principle of reversibility? This is nothing but, now the light rays is going like this. For this angle of incidence, there has to be one minimum deviation. Okay, delta minimum for this angle of incidence. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll reverse our path. That means when you reverse the light ray at 180 degree, from here, when you are observing from here, when you are observing from here, you are here. Now for you, this is your angle of incidence. So there has to be one delta minimum. Now suppose you are over here. So for you, now this is your angle of incidence. So that means when we reverse the light ray at 180 degree, it will follow the same path. It will follow the same path on which it has come. That means for this person, this is your angle of incidence, and for this angle also there has to be one delta minimum. But what we have studied, there only for one incidence angle only there will be delta minimum. So what does it mean? That means delta minimum is only for one angle. That means I1 is equal to I2. Okay. So from right hand side, this emergence angle becomes incidence angle. But we know only one for one angle of incidence, delta will be minimum. Deviation will be minimum. So that means these two angles are equal. If these two angles are equal, then R1, R2 will be equal. So this is the condition for minimum deviation. This is the condition for minimum deviation. Minimum deviation. What other condition? Let us discuss. Is it clear, children? Is it clear? Now we'll see the next point. See, this is a regular prism. So this is 60. This is 60. And this is 60. Okay. R1 is equal to R2. I1 is equal to I2. Now see, this is 90 degree normal, this is also 90 degree. So these two angles has to be equal. If this angle is equal to this angle, that means your this angle has to be also equal. So if it is 60 degree, then it is also 60. It is also 60. So from this, what you can conclude, that means this is parallel to this, and this is your refracted ray only. This is 60, this is 60. That means this line and this line are parallel as per geometry. So refracted ray, second condition will be, what is the second condition for minimum deviation? This is the first condition. So second condition will be refracted ray is parallel to the base of the prism. Parallel to the base of prism. Is it clear, children? Is it clear? So this is all about your dispersion by a prism. We have discussed the factors on which your deviation depends, and we have also discussed the condition for minimum deviation. So in my next lecture we are going to discuss the recombination spectrum occurs, rainbow we'll see, even the atmosphere, why the sky is blue, all those things in subsequent lectures. Small lectures will be there because very less portion is there now from this chapter. So major portion is over. Hope you have understood this lecture and this lecture is helping you. If any doubt, please leave a comment in comment section box so that I can address your doubts, and it will be easier for me. If I am getting the feedback, if there is any negative feedback, I will work on it because I am also trying, okay, to give you the best content. Hope it is helping you. On that note, please take care, children, and thank you for watching.